Good morning and welcome to our commercial MLS and iMapp course. This is Robert Rodriguez with the Miami Association of Realtors. Today we'll be covering how to use the MLS to search for commercial properties and how to use iMapp to run comparables and study these commercial properties. If you are a Miami member and a member of the commercial MLS, you would be logging into your Miami dashboard and finding the commercial dashboard that looks similar to what you have on my screen. Those of us who are not commercial members, you can still use the MLS to search for commercial properties simply by logging into your regular dashboard, and it looks like this, and you can go ahead and log into Matrix. All right, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to switch over to the commercial dashboard so we can use the MLS that is catering to the commercial member. Please keep in mind that this webinar is being recorded and we are going to be placing this webinar in our YouTube channel, which you can find our YouTube channel at Miami Trainers. Simply log into YouTube and find us at Miami Trainers. Also on our Facebook page at Miami Trainers as well. Let's go ahead and get started by clicking on the South Florida Commercial MLS or Matrix, whichever one you use. Here I am. This is the South Florida Commercial MLS. It's strictly for MLS users of the commercial section. Here we have search, and we have commercial property search. We also have the commercial industrial, the CLD, which is the commercial land, and the business opportunity, and your residential income. There's a difference between the residential MLS and the commercial MLS, where we don't have the residential searches here. We only have commercial, but you can still use the residential search here to search for properties in the residential portion of the MLS. So we'll get started first with your commercial land. And that would be CLD, not to be confused with commercial industrial or commercial property search. The CLD is when we're looking for vacant lot of commercial use. Of course, you have your statuses, and then off to the right, you can list what square footage you're looking for in which county. So let's do Miami-Dade County. And let's look for a lot between 40,000 square feet and 80,000 square feet. And that would be approximately 1 to 2 acres in Miami-Dade County. There is 50 matches available. You can always enter the city or the zip code you're looking for, and don't forget to use your additional fields in order to add criteria that normally doesn't show up on your search. When you hit results, you are going to see your results. And normally your results, when we're looking to purchase, have a purchase price. If they have a low number like this, like $0 or $38 or $50, normally they're leasing these commercial lots at a price per square foot option. So when we look at $38 and you actually go in, keep in mind that sometimes you will find mistakes. This is simply a commercial listing that is placed under the CLD portion, and it's supposed to be under the regular commercial. So let's go ahead and click on the next one. That's another mistake at $50, and yet another one, and another one. Oh my goodness, and quite a few more. So we're going to go into, say, $100,000. There you go. So we started with our commercial land. So as you can see, it's not perfect. This is either data entry error, user end error, where they're just placing the listing on the wrong property type. So when you look at this, $149,000, this is a commercial lot. And if you read the remarks, it says owner willing to finance 50%. They're not really telling us anything about this lot. However, you can see that the pictures showing you the lot. All right, we'll go on to the next property, and this is another commercial lot. And keep in mind, these are commercial lots, not meant for residential use, but more for commercial use. All right, so that is where we find the commercial lots. That would be search CLD. Now we're going to go right into the search commercial industrial, which allows us to search all kinds of commercial properties. First, you determine what transaction type you're looking for. Are you looking to lease or are you looking to purchase? Let's go ahead and hit lease. And then you have your property types. We'll go over a few of these here in class. So we have apartments. These would be apartment buildings. And you have automotive, anything from a car dealer to a garage, body shop, or even gas stations would be found under automotive. Then you have churches, you have condominiums, you have convenience stores, dock height building, you have freestanding buildings, you have hotels and motels. Commercial, residential income, you have industrial, which also could be like a warehouse. You have malls, heavy or light manufacturing. You have medical offices, mini warehouses, office warehouse combination, office space. You have residential multifamily, restaurants and bars, retail space, schools, shopping centers, store warehouse combination, strip store, tavern bar, or warehouse space. So if I'm looking to lease a warehouse space, again in Miami-Dade County, it leaves me with 77 options. That's 77 results of warehouses for lease in Miami-Dade County. We're going to click on results. In our results, normally you'll see a price per square foot option like this, where it says that the current price is $8 a square foot. Now the property, if you notice, the property is actually $71,499. What are they actually leasing? You have to click on the actual listing, go inside and read the remarks. This is a freestanding 44,455 square foot warehouse. You're going to read the remarks and you're going to see the actual leasable square footage. So you can determine what the price of $8 a square foot. And of course, this would be $8 a square foot for the entire year. Then you divide it by 12 to find out what your monthly payments will be. We are currently making some improvements to the MLS, and one field I can speak of is going to be a field called leasable square feet, where it'll tell us what's the actual square footage that's being leased out rather than telling you the entire property square foot on the property. So let's go back to criteria, and that was warehouse space. Now, if you're looking to lease office space, you simply click on office space, and now you have 584 office spaces for lease in Miami-Dade County. And let's go ahead and enter a city like Coral Gables and see what is available in Coral Gables 61. By clicking on results, you have, again, price per square foot, and then you should have now actual rents. Again, don't assume that this is the actual rent. You may want to go inside and see if this is actually what they're charging you per month. And also, when you get something like $25,000, that may be $25,000 for the entire year. So please do read the lease options inside of the listing itself. All right. So going back to criteria, and if there is something you're looking to lease and you can't find it under the property type, one way that I feel that you can find properties would be using the additional field called remarks. And for instance, if I'm looking to lease, say a preschool or a daycare, what I've done is I've put in remarks under the additional fields, and then in between two asterisks, I would write the word daycare. And if that doesn't pull any results, then let's go ahead and space it out, daycare. And there's nothing there. Now, if I'm looking to purchase a daycare, maybe that's what I'm going to find. No daycares in Coral Gables. Let's get rid of Coral Gables. All right, and still no daycares available in Miami-Dade County. Let's do this. All right, so we're not getting anything for daycare. How about childcare? All right. How about care? All right. So as you can see, we're not really pulling any results. Um, and it could be, yep, that's why, because we're doing office space. You must clean that out. So now we are getting results. All right. So day space care. So there's 9 matches for daycare under the remarks field, and you want to hit results. And these are properties that have been listed, and then under the remarks, they may write the word daycare or any combination of care or day, and it's just a simple way to find properties that may be a daycare facility. So use the remarks for wildcard searches. All right, let's go ahead and get rid of this, and let's purchase, and let's do apartments. When looking for apartments, these would be apartment buildings, more for investors who are looking to purchase an investment property. And we're going to go ahead and stay in Miami-Dade County. Let's put in a price range of, let's say, $500,000 to $1,500,000. You're looking at 26 matches. When you click on results, these are your results. These are all apartment condominium buildings. And what you want to do is you want to click on one of these and see that this is, let's see, a 4-unit, which, by the way, 4 units not really supposed to be in this property type. 4 units are residential income properties, and they should be under the RIN. Anyways, they're telling you that this is a great investment opportunity in West Brickell area. Building features 4 units along with private parking. And normally, the realtor will tell us what the expenses and income are on the property. In most cases, you'll see them. In some cases, like in this one, you don't see what the income is. So if there are no attachments on this listing, we're probably left, we have to call the realtors and see what the income and expenses are on a property like that. So look at this one. This is a 7-unit. And here they are telling us what the rental income is. And down here, they're telling you that the gross income is $79,140, and they are telling you some of the expenses. However, we want to verify the expenses, hopefully with an attached file like they have here, or by simply calling the agent and seeing what the expenses are. So let's click on the attachments and see what we have. We have income property analysis. That should do it right there. Click on it. And what we're going to see here is the purchase, the down payment, the analysis done for you with your expenses. Okay, so we would read that and actually build our own income analysis, which I'm going to help you build a little later in class today. All right, so that is how you look for, hold on, give me a second. All right, so that is how you look for commercial investment apartment buildings, simply by clicking on criteria and then doing apartments. Another way to find them would be under residential multifamily. So I'm going to go ahead and click on residential multifamily. And again, that's 21 matches. And when we click on results, we should have the same thing, which are, that one has no photos. Let's look at this one. All right. These are value add, 6 apartment buildings, multifamily. So this is a multi parcel sale. All right. And here's one here with 7 units. That's the one that we just looked at. And here's one with 5 units. All right, so residential multifamily or apartments is going to get you your investment properties of the multifamily type. So let's go ahead and do churches. Notice that when you do churches in Miami-Dade County, you're looking at properties that are churches or properties that could be a church. So when you see a property like this and it doesn't look like a church, read the remarks. Sometimes they tell you that this is a property that could be a church. There you go. Says originally 5 units, now main space, approximately 3,400 square feet, currently used as a church. All right, let's go back to criteria. And once again, that's the price that we've been looking for properties. Let's go ahead and remove the price. And there are 11 churches actually in Miami-Dade County once we remove the price. Another a property that often people want to search for is going to be for medical offices. So there's 36 medical offices for sale, and these could be dental facilities or medical offices, or actually an office that can serve as either a medical or dental facility. So looking at this, and this is for sale, $120,000. The idea of searching for commercial properties on the MLS and saving the search and then sending over to your customers often doesn't really occur, because you are really having to look through all the results and pick and choose which properties you would like to send to your customers. Unlike in the residential search in the MLS, people feel comfortable saving the search and sending it over to the customers. Commercial practitioners tell me that they rather go on an individual basis, sending one by one to your customers after they have previewed all the properties. So let's move into search, and let's go to business opportunity. Now, the business opportunity is when people are selling a business to run. And normally there aren't many properties in here. Sometimes people go to like a business brokerage to sell their businesses. So in the entire MLS, currently there are 1,362 businesses. Sometimes you will see the property and the business for sale. And what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to use the type of business option right here. It is not a multiple choice. There's no drop down. You're simply having to type it in. So if I'm looking to purchase a liquor store, all right, I write the word liquor and notice only one match. But if I use asterisks at the end and at the beginning of the word liquor, we're looking at 15 matches in total. In Miami-Dade County, we're down to 12. And when we click on results, what we have are liquor stores or liquor licenses for sale. And when you click on one of them, you actually have to read the remarks and see what they're selling. This is a great opportunity, liquor store for sale, 30 plus years. And it says that the inventory is not included. If you go to one of the more expensive sales, normally you'll see that the property is also included in the sale. Let me see, incredible business opportunity, double business. Let's see, double business opportunity consisting of a liquor store and income property, completely updated. And can't really see here whether the property is also for sale or not. Let's go to the next one and see what we have here. Great opportunity, liquor store for sale, great location, several years. All right. And apparently no one's really selling the liquor store and the property. They're just selling the liquor store business. All right, so you'll see it in the remarks where they'll tell you that they're actually selling both the business and the property. Let's go back to criteria. And another one that people often look for are car wash. So if I spell the word car wash, all right, there is 0. If I space out car and wash, there are 3. But if I put in an asterisk at the end and one at the beginning, all right, we're going to get 5 car wash businesses for sale. And you're looking at ranging from $90,000 to $1.1 million. And if you click on the $90,000, that would be a hand car wash for sale. This is probably the business itself, well-established business. And if I go to the more expensive one, here it's a laundry, not a car wash, or maybe it is a car wash. It is a car wash. Okay. All right, so that would be your type of business. You're going to come here to the criteria, and you're going to look for what kind of business you would like to purchase. So that's under business opportunity. Now, under the residential income, which is Often used by people looking for a duplex or a triplex or a fourplex. It's not really considered a commercial property. However, this is where you'll find duplex and a triplex and a fourplex or quadplex. So remember residential income for duplex, triplex, or fourplexes. All right, so what we're going to do now is that we're going to go to the commercial property search, and nope, let's go to the commercial industrial right here, and let's do for sale, and we're going to click on an apartment building in Miami-Dade County, and let's do less than $1 million, and then we have about 18. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on one of these, and I actually want to find out the value of the property by using iMapp. So here we have a 5-unit multifamily building in Miami Beach for sale at $995,000. iMapp can be found by clicking on this little logo right here, the I logo, and that's going to open up the property records inside of your iMapp program. All right, we'll wait for this to open, and here it is. So this is owned by 7411 Carlisle LLC. This is a multifamily 2 to 9 units. Notice the property use code is 08 multifamily 2 to 9 units. What we like about iMapp so much is that when you ask to see comparables, it'll actually look for the same property use code. It'll never mix and match. It'll always look for the same kind of property. Therefore, your comparables should match. So this is a 2,668 square foot, 6-bedroom, 6-bath building in Miami Beach. And what we're going to do is that we're going to find comparables off on the right-hand side by clicking on Find Comparables. We're going to then adjust our criteria to be somewhat like this: 20% difference in lot sizes and a 20% difference in living area size. Now, as far as location, we want to go ahead and do 1 mile, and we want to do 1 year, and we are going to hit Update Criteria. Now, by updating the criteria, we're looking at the criteria of 20% difference in lot size and living within 1 mile, 1 year, and we were able to find 2 comparables. So we have a multifamily 6-bedroom, 4-bathroom, 2,764 square foot building in Miami Beach that sold for $950,000 in April of this year. And then we also have a 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 3,024 square foot multifamily that sold in Miami Beach for $2.1 million in September of last year. What we have is $917,000 as a low and $1,852,000 as a high, with an average of $1,384,000. This is all based on price per square foot. Normally, you're not that lucky and you don't have comparables right away. So what you can do is, instead of doing located within 1 mile, you can do located within the same zip code. This will get 2 comparables within the same zip code there in Miami Beach, and you'll notice that we have a few others, and our price actually got worse. We went from $917,000 as a minimum down to $604,000. So which out of these is the one giving me the worst values, are the 2 new ones that came up, 229 a square foot and 226 a square foot. Then you have 343 and 694 a square foot. So maybe what we want to do is we want to go ahead and remove the lowest ones, and you're left with a higher value, 917 to 1.8, with an average of 1,384,000. Now, of course, this is yet to be the real price. You need to study the comparables and see which ones actually look more like your subject property. All right, so let's go ahead and go back to Matrix, and let's see if we can find another one that we can find a comparable, perhaps one that we need to research a little bit more. So here is in Southwest 7th Street and 11th Avenue. All right, so we have a 6-unit multifamily, and we want to go ahead and run the iMapp search. Here's the property, and we're going to click on Find Comparables, and right away you'll notice that we have three comparables, all right, between 526,000 and 733,000, with an average of 626. That is one comparable that sold at $280 a square foot at 715,000. Then you have another one that sold at $201 a square foot at 540, and another one at 540 that sold for 237. So the low price per square foot of 201 is the one that gets you 526,700. The high price per square foot gets you 733, and your average gets you 626. So based on these three comparables, this subject property is priced way above the market value. Now, we can always check the photos. Perhaps the subject property is updated and they have reasons to why they want to sell so expensive. I don't really see any updating with this property. So my opinion based on the market is that this is overpriced. Now, folks, when running comparables on iMapp, you'll notice sometimes that you don't have any comparables within half a mile or 6 months. You may have to stretch out, like I said, same zip code or even within 5 miles. And sometimes you may have to go past 1 year, maybe 2 years, or even up to 5 years. So it all depends on the property and the uniqueness of that property. All right, so we're going to go ahead and try and get something else on iMapp, like an office space. So let's take, for instance, in Miami-Dade County, we want to go ahead and study an office space. Let's see which one. Well, let's actually look for it. Let's look for it on the MLS. So let's go back to criteria, and let's do office space. All right. And for less than $1 million, all right, that's good. So let's look at right here, 900 Biscayne Boulevard. All right, so here's an office space for $950,000 on Biscayne Boulevard. Best commercial deal in Miami. You can enjoy your very own Class A office space in the heart of downtown Miami. So let's click on iMapp, and that's going to open up, again, the property records, and we're going to hit Find Comparables. All right, so this is what I was saying. You've got an office space here with no comparables, and this is an office that has 1,908 square feet. So we're going to go ahead and stretch this out to 1 year, and same zip code. Let's stay within the downtown area within 1 year, see if we have any offices, and we don't. So at that point, I'm probably going to go straight to 5 years and see if we can get anything, and yes. Within 5 years, we did get 3, and they're all inside of 900 Biscayne Boulevard. So if you're looking for comparables, you're looking for the last comparables, here's what you have. You have a property that sold in October of 2017 for $810,000. You also have a property that sold in December of 2014 for $2.9 million. And you have a property over here that sold in November of 2014 for $2,120,000. So there's a big difference here. All right, from $800,000 to $2.8 million. And I don't know what kind of deal this was because they're all the same square foot size. So you're either going to be right around this value, or we would have to check and see why this property sold for so cheap at $810,000. So if I was to remove that one, you're actually looking between $2 million and $2.8 million for this property, with an average price of about $2.5 million. And then checking the records on this is pretty simple. You click on the parcel ID of that $810,000 sale and see what kind of sale this was. Perhaps it was some kind of transfer, and it just looks like it was a regular sale and not a distressed sale. So I don't know why it went for so cheap. All right, let's go ahead and close that as well. And then if you're looking on iMapp and say you want to find properties that are commercial in Miami-Dade County, you can always use the property use code right here. You can open up that drop down and you have multifamily 10 units plus. So if I was farming an area and I'm a commercial broker wanting to get to know investors and owners who own multifamily 10 units or more, you can click on that. And let's go with zip code 33012, which is a zip code in Hialeah, and we click on Start Search. And there are 103 buildings with more than 10 units in this zip code. And of course, you can always create labels and download your results for your prospecting. And you can, contact the owners and let them know that you're in the business, and perhaps you can get a listing or even purchase a property cash if they're interested in selling. So that's one way to use iMapp for prospecting. Let's go ahead and click on New Search, and let's try this again. If we wanted to know how many gas stations, for example, are in Miami-Dade County, you can always open up that property use and look for service station. Service station is number 26. So if you wanted to know how many gas stations or service stations are in Miami-Dade County, you're going to simply hit Start Search, and the number is 724. That's 724 gas stations that you can look up in all of Miami-Dade County, or basically use your zip codes or city to look up more specific results. 724, once again, you want to create labels or download your results to a spreadsheet. So now, if you are a commercial realtor focusing and specializing on gas stations, now you have a list of all the gas stations in all of Miami-Dade County. All right. Another one of my favorites that people use in Miami-Dade County for commercial would be zoning. So you do have to open up one of the drop-down menus on the left and look for zoning, which is down here. Zoning allows you to look for the specific zoning type that you would like to use for your sales. So you got zoning as multifamily, you got zoning multifamily 4 units, 6 to 8 units, 10 to 12 units. So we got 10 to 12 units. And then once again, you want to do zip code 33145. And there are no matches. So no matches for the zoning type that we just used there. All right, don't know why we had no matches, but let's go with, let's do this again, multifamily, let me see, multifamily 10 units plus. Let's get rid of the zip code because perhaps that's probably an error on the system. Yeah, there's 26. All right, for zoning type, 10 units plus. Now, I'm looking at this, and this is all leading to one place, which is 90 Park or 30 Park Drive in Bal Harbour. So I'm not sure what really is going on here. But if you're looking for land, buildable land, you can use the zoning type. Now, the property use is really one that you can use all the time. And say you're looking for store, 1 story, or mixed use, or department stores, or supermarkets, you can always choose one to find the property use. This is always good also for comparables. So for example, if I'm looking for, say, office building 1 story, and I want to know in zip code 33134 in Coral Gables, how many offices sold within the last 6 months. You go to sale date, greater than or equal to, and you can open up this calendar and go back to December 5th of last year. And within the last 6 months, there have been 4 sales in zip code 33134 of office spaces or office buildings 1-story. So if you don't have any comparables and you are looking to either sell or buy an office building 1-story in Coral Gables, one way to do it is by looking at the property use, set it to, again, office building 1-story, and then doing your sale date and go back 6 months. So here we have a 4,500 square foot building that sold for $2.6 million. Here you have an 8,196 square foot building that sold for $4 million. You have $0 over here, so that perhaps wasn't really a sale, more like a transfer of title. And here you have a $2.9 million sale of a 5,099 square foot building. So I'm going to hit refine search so you guys can take a look at what I did. Again, I went to property use and I selected the office building 1-story in zip code 33134 and then sale date going back to December 5th of 2018. If you wanted to use square foot range, you can always open this up and look for square footage. Okay. Now, let's go back to Matrix and let's study one of these properties. And let's see the return on your investment on one of these properties using a program we have called RealDAX. This is part of our commercial MLS training course to learn a little bit about the RealDAX program. So we're gonna, let's see here, commercial industrial search right here, and we're gonna do sale, and then we're gonna hit apartments in Miami-Dade County, and let's do again 500,000 to 1.5 million, and we're going to hit results. All right, so let's go ahead and invest on a property like this. Let's see, this is Crespi Boulevard, and this is a 5-unit, and here are your rents, waterfront for $1,200,000. Now, their gross income is not shown here. Let me see. It's not shown here. So let's add it ourselves. So you got $1,300 plus $1,300 plus $900 plus $1,250 plus $1,500, and that's $6,250 per month. And let's keep that in mind. Inside of your dashboard, if you are a commercial member, if you revert back to your regular dashboard, you will find the RealDAX program that allows you to study the investment properties by putting in the income expense. Now, all Miami members can log into basic RealDAX here, or if you are a Platinum Plus user, you can click on the Platinum Plus login. All right, let's go ahead and click here. All right, and it's signing us in. Now, what I want to do, since I already know the MLS number or the address, I can click on search up here, and I can simply copy the MLS number and then come over here to the dashboard, and you want to search for this MLS number. Okay. Okay, and that didn't do anything. Let's do it again. Search. All right. So let's do this instead. 8135 or 8135 Crespi Boulevard. And there it is. Okay, there it is. All right. So once inside of RealDocs, we're going to go ahead and go down underneath the mapping, and we're going to use the investment assumptions tool. We're going to click on change, and here we go. We have an offering price of $1.2 million, and your rent estimation monthly is $6,250. And your rehab cost, let's do something minimum like $5,000. Your closing cost is already an estimate of what your closing cost would be off of your offer price. So let's say $1.2 million times 0.5% is $60,000 at 5% of your purchase price for your closing costs. Now, there are no HOA fees. However, maintenance, normally what I like to do is I like to get the 10% of your yearly income, and it's about $7,500. And that is 10% of $75,000, which is your yearly income. Now, your property taxes, you need to verify your property taxes. You need to verify the insurance, and then your other expenses such as water and other maintenance expenses that you may incur when owning one of these properties. I'm going to go back to Matrix and see if they tell us anything as far as expenses are concerned. So your taxes, utilities, they're telling you $3,000 in utilities, $2,100 in trash, so that's about $5,100 right there. And you do have other income as well, so there's probably some laundry, coin laundry in there. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's put in here $5,100 in other expenses. One thing that's probably not taking into account is that you may have to hire a property manager. Normally, what I like to do is add another 10% to that in the expenses. So we're looking at $7,500 plus $5,100. You're looking at about $12,600 in expenses, and I'm sure there will be more expenses. However, this is for you to just get the idea of what we're doing. So other income, about $1,800 in annual income. Hit save changes, and this property is actually returning 4.34% cash on cash on a year-to-year base. And at a 5-year holding period, you're looking at a return on your investment of 23.39%. And if you go to 10 years, you're getting 42.44% return on your investment on a sole cash offer or cash purchase. If I switch this to financing for 30 years at a 5% interest rate and hit save changes, you're actually making a little less at 34.26% return on your investment. But of course, your investment was a lot less of $365,000. And your cash deal is now in the negative. So your cash on cash is now in the negative. So basically, this property is a little overpriced, being that it is on the beach. You're probably paying for land. So that was kind of an example on how to use the RealDocs to figure out what the return on your investment will be on an MLS commercial property. Now, we do have RealDocs classes and webinars, and of course, we also have the Working with Investors class that covers RealDocs. So, in all, we've learned how to use the commercial MLS course, or the commercial MLS, and your iMapp for commercial properties. And we studied a little bit about RealDocs and how to find out the return on your investment off of one of the commercial properties we found on the MLS. This is going to conclude our webinar for today. Please remember that we will load this exact video onto our YouTube channel a little later today, and also our Facebook pages. We want to thank you all for watching, and we want to thank you for being my new members. Goodbye.